Callum Bell, what do you think? Are we seeing Sir Keir Starmer re-establish his authority and indeed the appeal of the Labour Party to the general public?
Completely not. The whole process of this reshuffle has been a shambles and probably typifies Keir Starmer's time as Labour Party leader. The election results that we saw last week on Thursday night have just been a disaster. We lost 326 Labour councillors. That's 326 areas where we no longer have Labour councillors defending working people against Conservative cuts and Conservative policy agendas. We need a drastic change in direction to rectify it. In 2017, we won in places like Hartlepool with 50% of the vote. We've got 28% of the vote in 2021. I'm not saying that 2019 was a superb result, far from it. However, it clearly goes to show that in 2017, when we had a transformative socialist economic policy, it was lapped up by the public and they wanted it. And if you look at the CWU polling that they did in Hartlepool, it actually shows that people in Hartlepool wanted these things. What people in Hartlepool and what people across the northeast don't want is simply wearing a sharp suit and standing in front of a flag. It's vacuous speeches, which Keir Starmer continuously does, but people don't have a clue of where he stands, and people don't trust that. Channel 4 did polling and said the main reason why they didn't vote for the Labour Party in these recent local elections was because of Keir Starmer. To say that this is sort of a long Corbynism or anything like that is just completely wrong.
You're clearly sat in a London bubble, you know, talking to yourself, trying to prove a point that doesn't exist. You know, come out in the real world. When I knocked on doors and people accused me of being a Remainer and I lost the seat, I've been round, I've had a fantastic reception. Not one person has said to me anything negative. In fact, I've been asked over and over again to stand again. Please stand again. Please put your name forward. Please stand again. You know, so I think it's ridiculous for Momentum to say that we should go back to 1987 when we lost this seat badly and we should have won it, or 2019 when we lost it on the same, you know, cobblers that we put forward in 1987. We need to speak to the nation, not just to our members, but to Labour voters and to people who might vote Labour, and we need to win people over. And the problem is, it's just a narrow perspective when you speak to members. There are only 500,000, 400,000 members. We need to speak to the country, and Keir Starmer will do that.
OK, what do you say to that, Mr Bell?
Well, firstly, Graham, in terms of London bubble, I'm actually a psychiatric nurse and I'm due on night shift later tonight. To say I'm wrapped up in a London bubble is utterly preposterous. And to say going back to 1987, I wasn't even born in 1987. My politics and the reason why I joined the Labour Party and the reason why I got involved in Momentum was because day in, day out, I see the cost of austerity it's having on working people across the North East, and I felt that something had to change. And what was being offered by mainstream politicians at the time under New Labour did not represent me. However, when Jeremy came along, the policies that he put forward were things that I genuinely believe would make a difference to people's lives. And those policies now are actually being enacted by the Conservative Party. We're being outflanked by the Tories